Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. East Stroudsburg University track and field coach Joe Koch joining us right now. Well, Coach, great to host the PSAC Championships. First time since 1985. What was that like this past weekend?
It was a lot of fun, John. We, of course, number one for the team members, it's a big thrill to be at home and be there in front of their family, roommates, friends. Also, a real neat aspect of the meet was we figured we had over 150 alumni return. I'm talking guys all the way back to 1973, guys from Minnesota, South Carolina, all over the place. So, in a lot of respects, it was a real successful championship for us.
Well, the men and women, they're on the map, doing some great things. Let's first talk about your women's team. Talk about some individuals that have done well for you this season, and looking forward to possibly doing some more things, including this weekend.
Yep. John, probably our two standouts would be Christy O'Connor. She was our conference champ, both indoors and outdoors in the high jump. Her best was 5'10", which was the all-time best in our conference. She was All-American both outdoors last year and indoors this year. She's now a 3-time All-American. She got one of the top jumps in the country so far in outdoor track, and will be returning to nationals in a couple weeks here out in Michigan. So she's had just an unbelievable year. We also have a sprinter, Danielle Smith, who's from the Lehigh Valley, and Danielle, our sports information director, has all the stats, but I think Danielle's won about 7 or 8 conference titles over her career, has scored something like 19 times in the conference meet between relays and open events, and has just also had some incredible success when you look at what all she's accomplished in 4 years. So she had run a great 400 for us. Had one of her best times ever in the 224 point, and is really had a great year. So those two kind of stand out. We had some other women who did real well. One of our distance runners from Del Valley High School scored in both the 5 and the 10,000 meters, which is a pretty tall order for any runner. And is also, her name's Allison Decker, also had a great season.
We're talking with Joe Koch here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. We talk East Stroudsburg Warriors track and field. Coach, over on the men's side, I know you have some great sprinters, including what some local guys here in northeastern Pennsylvania have helped out your program the last couple of years.
Yep. I think the guy here referring to from Pittston is Ronnie D'Alessio. Ronnie has made a fantastic transition to college. He PR'd in both the 110 and 400 hurdles this past weekend, and ran on our championship 4x4 relay. Ran a 48 split on the 400 there. So he's done a tremendous job. It's I don't know how many of your listeners are aware of this, John, but it's a transition in college. The PA kids go from 300 to 400 hurdles, and the 110 hurdles go up 3 inches. So it's not the same event, but Ronnie's proven up to the challenge, and once again has really put together a nice season. And we're hoping to get him out to Michigan. He's what we call right on the bubble as far as qualifying. He's going to take another crack this weekend. Hopefully, if he shaves a tenth or two off his 400 hurdle time, he'll be in nationals. And hope your listeners keep track of him. And we had some other fantastic performances. As a matter of fact, John, we had 5 conference champions this past weekend on the men's side, which is a real testament to the program and how successful the kids and the hard work they put in.
Well, definitely an outstanding effort, and that's why your men finished third, Coach, in the PSAC Championship, so that had to feel really good. How about some other guys that are doing a heck of a job on your team, whether it's sprinters or distance guys or guys in the field?
Right. Well, one of Ronnie's workout mates is a guy, Steve, is also a sophomore. He's from Jersey. But Steve broke our stadium record this past weekend. He broke our school record and ran a 14.32 in the 110 hurdles, which also puts him in the national picture. In addition to the hurdle race, he also helped our 4x1 relay, scored in the long jump in 200. So he had 4 different events he scored in, which is, pretty impressive feat when you think about it, with trials and finals and everything. We had a junior, Eric Kennard, who's down from the Philadelphia area, who won the decathlon. I think, John, if I'm not mistaken, he had about the 4th seed coming in. So really put together impressive 2 days, 10 events, and beat 3 or 4 guys who were, on paper coming into the meet ahead of them. Christie's cohort is a guy named Will Berry. He broke our school record in the high jump this year. He won the high jump at the championships and has jumped over 6'10" this year. And then Derek Washington was kind of a unique story, John. His best event really is the 400 hurdles, but we didn't. I felt like he had a little better chance in the open 400, so we switched events a week before the conference meeting. Qualified in the flat 400, and then turned around a week later and won the conference championship in the 400. So those guys. Then 3 of them combined to be in our championship 4x4 relay. So been a lot of highlights this year, and of course, like you mentioned, the year's not over. So of course, we're looking forward to the next couple weeks. The weather getting better and the kids in peak shape. We expect maybe get a couple more school records and hopefully even a couple more All-Americans and Nationals.
Coach, I was talking to the baseball coach, John Kamansky, the other day about getting out on the recruiting trail. His season's over, so now he's doing that. How about for track and field in the PSAC? For a guy like you, how challenging is it to get out there while your season is still going? And, of course, what kind of athletes are you looking for?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, John. We do get a little break here. We're taking final exams right now, and a lot of the kids are finished with their season. So we'll be heading out to a bunch of the different district meets. We'll be heading up to Scranton for District 2 and the local district here, District 11, getting down towards Philadelphia and out Harrisburg way for those district meets. So the districts are nice because there's a, large group of kids, and you get an opportunity to see all the different events and several people. We're sport, or I should say our sport, John, is kind of unique because in college we have 43 different events. So whereas a basketball coach or baseball coach might be looking, at a small number of individuals to help the program out, we're we're trying to fill a lot of different events. So we've talked to a lot of kids. Of course, now in the internet age, we get videos and can pick up kids' stats. Literally in minutes of when they performed. So we're always recruiting, believe it or not, John. And right now we're going to be focusing on a lot of the juniors. We'll be finishing up their 3rd year high school and starting next year their senior year. So it's a fun time of year, not only for us but for the high school kids who are finishing up their season as well.
Well, Coach, you know East Stroudsburg University pretty darn well. Of course, you're like a small guy compared to Denny Dowd's doing it all those years at East Stroudsburg. 29 years, though. That's pretty impressive. How about you and your family, what that experience has been like to be a Warrior?
Yeah, well, like anything else, John, when you first get here, my story is I came for 1 year to get a master's degree and move on. And of course, the area and the school and everything really grows on you. I obviously wouldn't have stayed this long if I didn't really enjoy the people I work with and the environment and the school. My wife's a local teacher. Our kids are actually students now, our 2 children at E.S.U. So, we go way back, but it's been a great run, and not quite yet to hang up the clipboard and stopwatch yet, John, but, really enjoyed it. And, it's a great area, and I know a lot of your listeners are familiar with this school. But yeah, it couldn't ask for a better situation as far as I'm concerned.
Well, keep up the good work, Coach. Great catching up with you and talking a little track and field for East Stroudsburg University, and hope the next few weeks are pretty successful for you like the season has been.
Thank you very much, John, and we wish all your listeners, whether track and field athletes or not, all the best, okay?
Thank you so much. Joe Koch, the head coach at East Stroudsburg University for the men and the women's track and field team here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.